Today's video is Google Cardboard. I actually wanted to do a dedicated video on this because the neat thing about Google Cardboard, no PCs required. All you need is your cell phone. So we're going to be doing that today. So I guess let's get started. Okay, so basically, when you get the thing from Google, or whatever company you get it from, so Google sent this to me for free because of the Star Wars movie coming out, because it's a Star Wars themed one. So basically, when you get it, it opens up. It comes like in plastic wrap too, like this. You save this, by the way. Because when you store it, you want to put it back in there. So then you set it down. The thing, here's what it looks like when it goes on your face. So then what happens is the thing comes open, and this slides up, that, and it comes down and it velcros, if I can get this thing to velcro, and you got yourself a VR headset. Now the neat thing about this is that basically, it's supposed to work with iPhone and Android. So I can, as long as the device is 6 inches and under, because there are some Androids now that are 7 inches and up. So here's my Droid Turbo 2. It falls like right under 6 inches, and it'll sit right in here, and it'll close up. Now the problem is that if you got any sort of case on here, it will not fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take the Droid Turbo 2's case off. This is an Autobox Communal Series. I love this case. It's a lot smaller than the Defender, but it gets the job done because this has a shadowproof display. And I've not tested it yet, but I've seen enough videos that proves that this is shadowproof. And all it does is when you drop it, it dents it. Okay, so let's see. That pops off. This pops off too. And there we go. Look at my nice phone. Maybe I should just go without a case. It's a really nice looking phone. So then it sits in here and it velcros. And make sure you line it up because you'll have to use this in order to control it. And one of the things neat about it is what I recommend is don't go out and just download a game. Make sure you download the Google Cardboard app. It's free on Google Play and iOS. So then you can set the games up and stuff, because look, on the bottom there's a QR code. If you read it, it'll set it up properly, because you can make your own Google Cardboard. You can buy them from Google. I don't know how much they are, and I think when you buy it from Google, all it does is cover the cost of making it. You can buy it from third-party vendors, and you can even buy plastic ones. So I think that's neat because right now, basically, Samsung VR is exclusive to Samsung. That's powered by Oculus. They can do some stuff on the Google Cardboard platform. Then you got anything else is Google Cardboard. So let's open up. Hold on. Let's see. Let's open up the. Where was it? No, that's not stupid phone. I can't label it good. So let's open up the Google Cardboard app. So you get this nice little looking app. Now my favorite one is the Cardboard Demos. Now I am going to warn you, this is not a dedicated device that's going to be able to push 90 frames per second. And the reason why I want to point that out is because this does have some motion sickness, because any frames per second, which means the frames you're going to get in a given amount of seconds, if it's below 90, you're going to probably experience some motion sickness. Now, I want to point that out is because the Oculus and the HTC Vive, I think, push around 90 frames per second. Now, these phones, of course, are not going to be able to push that high of a GPU, and even if they could, a lot of games aren't going to be optimized for it. So if you go play stuff like Crossy VR, Deep Space, or even this VR Silent Home, which is kind of creepy, I've still felt a little nauseous. It's playable, but it's a little nauseous because of motion sickness. Now, if you go check out my Let's Play, what was it? Crossy VR and my cardboard catapult thing, I actually cover it, and I'll have a link in the description and up in the card, so you can go check out that live stream. And it basically shows what my screen is showing on here, and then what it does, it'll take and set it out as a flat image. But it shows it kind of funny, but if you just imagine it as a flat image, because it's coming out of two eyelids, you can get a sort of a feel what it's like. But one of the things I've noticed is I've even let people play games with this cardboard, and one of the things I had them try was the cardboard catapult, and it had so much motion sickness that I felt nauseous, and like everyone else I let play felt nauseous. So I recommend that if you get motion sickness real easy, don't play it. Now if you're okay, you should be fine. You just feel a little nauseous and maybe have a headache. But some of the favorite things that do not give you headaches is stuff like the demos, which I should have gameplay footage, actually not gameplay, but just footage of what it shows up on the screen right now. And as you look, I know it looks funny, but just imagine it as a flat real estate. But if you look, it looks smooth and stuff, because a lot of videos, even though they have 60 frames per second videos now, you don't notice too much of a difference in videos. But so they're going to still keep it a majority about 30 frames per second and stuff. And even then, if it hits up to 60 frames per second, and as I said before, a lot of times that'll be the most phones are going to be pushing. And even if they can push more, which I bet this can, a lot of them aren't going to support it. So even with just the videos feel not that bad because the videos. Now, I do like the demos. I will have, as I said, there should be some playing right now, but it's really awesome. I like that. The Cardboard Design Lab, I'm going to open it because it's just another demo one. Hold on. This is what you see on the screen. You see two eyelids, and this actually isn't a great one. Let's open up just the demos. So I'm going to open this up without it because I want you to see what this is. But here's what it looks like without the Google Cardboard in it. Now in the middle, this is when you tap that button on the top of the viewer, stuff happens. Because if you look at it, the button's right there. You open it up, it goes inside. When you push that button, it actually pushes this. Now, when you stick it in, you want to make sure you line it up with that middle line, because you want to be able to see what you're doing. Now, the best way to do that is put the phone in, then if you can look inside of there, and it lines up like that, and then you can know it's lined up. Because I recommend doing that, because sometimes if you don't do it right, you can't read some text. And even when I played that Silent Home and I had my case on and just held it together, I could not read the text, so I took the case off, lined it up properly, and stuck it in, and it was fine. But if you're lazy and you don't want to take your case off, I understand, and it still works fine for most scenarios. But if you're reading any kind of text on here, and if it's really small, I recommend you lining it up. But like right now, I'm in here, and I can go into, let's go into Exhibit. But it's really neat because it shows some different stuff, and you can look around. It's really neat. Then you can, I can't lose my phone. If you turn it like that, it takes it back. I just learned that feature anyway. Let's do Arctic Journey, which the Arctic Journey is the new demos. But if you look, you can go, let's go play on. But this is the new demo, and I actually really like it. But right now, it feels really immersive, and like, there's these pigeons up on the screen right now, and they can follow around and stuff, but it's really neat. I'll have footage playing right, as I'm talking about this, it should be playing, but anyway, it's really neat. But the thing about it is, I do recommend if you're playing something like a VR Silent Home, or just any kind of demo in general, I recommend that you do it out in the dark, unless you buy some kind of plastic viewer, which I plan on doing just because this, even though it blocks most stuff out, it doesn't feel fully immersive yet, just because this is cardboard and it's not going to block it out all the way. But this is really great. I honestly do recommend it if you want a cheap VR experience for your phone. It's very low cost, and you could even do it yourself for a couple bucks. So I recommend it. For the people that don't get motion sickness, I think VR is the future, and this is one step closer into getting into VR. And to put this back in the box is the same way. So like, you could do this. It pops out, folds up, and there we go. And then it goes in the cardboard sleeve. But back to what I was saying, I think VR is the future. This is an introduction to into VR, and even with the Gear VR, because Samsung does have some promotions. If you go buy a Samsung Galaxy phone, select ones like the new S7, I guess the Note 5, at certain times you'll get a free Gear VR headset in, and that would be something else I kind of want to try. So I might end up going out to go buy a Gear VR and maybe some Samsung phone to try it, because honestly it'd be neat to try that, because I think supposedly it's different. It even has exclusive games. So I really like how they'll take their approach to it. And in fact, even Six Flags is offering roller coasters now that use Gear VR. So that's even another good one. Another thing I want to point out is that YouTube, if you find any 360 videos on YouTube and you put them inside here, because they even have a cardboard mode, it even feels like you're there too. So I recommend even trying that out. Now, even if you play non-360 degree videos, you could still sit there and it feels like that you're in some kind of theater, even though it looks all digital. There's that. What else was there? Oh yeah, photo spills. If you have one of the phones like my Moto X, or maybe even some Samsung phones, or even like the Nexus device as well, the photo spills originally came out, which is basically inside the Google Camera app, which you can download on the Google Play Store if your phone's supported. That technology is basically the Google Street View, where you can go around to different places and stuff. And if you take pictures of that and then stick it in here, you can experience those pictures. And I think they even have a public gallery. And even then, I think you can go into the Street View to play around with it. I played around with some of this different stuff some. I honestly think it's really neat. Now, the only downside is I kind of wish they had a cutout on here, because some of the original cardboards did, and I think it's because they originally planned to set it up so you can use it with augmented reality, but they took that out in their newer designs, and so I guess they don't support it. But it would be neat to see that, because then you would have an augmented reality / virtual reality headset. So that would be something neat to see in the later on Google Cardboard. But honestly, think this is a great introduction. One thing I am considering though in the future is, after I build my gaming PC and get it up to specs for great VR experiences, I might go buy something like an Oculus or a Vive. And even seeing the PlayStation VR, even though it's not that great compared to the Vive and like the, what was it, Rift, it still would be a great budget one, because it'd even be less than the gaming PC that you have to power it. Now, one downside with this though is that if you got a nasty screen, or you got like bubbles in your screen protector like I do, because this is not a great screen protector, you're going to see it in the game. And it's not a big deal after a while, but at first it's going to drive you nuts. And you get used to it, but I want to point that out. And like, even though this is only a single 1440p, it still looks not that bad. But if it was a 4K display, which not many phones have a 4K display yet, then it would look lifelike. So I could see the use of having a 4K phone would come in handy. Or even like an 8K display, which that's still kind of too expensive and nothing really supports it yet. But that's the only thing 8K is good for, is like VR and maybe 90-inch TVs. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me explaining about Google Cardboard, and basically this is the review of it. And I honestly think it's the future. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Also, go check out my new series called My Linux PC. You can click up the card right there to check that out, because it's going to be a new series where I explore the world of Linux, and it's going to be really neat.